All right, shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
No, Hashem,
Shai,
Bahai,
Bahashim, Kadash. All right, double honor to the apostles and the elders and the bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, that have taught us His word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 and the rest of the 1/3 that sincerely believe. Okay, so we're coming at you with another lesson, live lesson, GMS Toronto, and in today's class is going to be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies. As you see, it says Apple to start brain chip implants. Right. So, hey, just like we always, we've been saying, starting with the apostles,
That's
and the
right.
bishops and elders on down, man. GMS was always right, and that's going to be manifested more and more as we get closer and closer to the hour of temptation. All right. All you Israelites and your false teachers, they're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Your false teachers, really, your leaders, are gonna have a lot. They're gonna have a lot of explaining to do in that time. You see, Malak, you got something you want to bring out?
Khan, yeah, I'm going to go straight to it because this goes into the title and the system that the Lord has placed in power that is on its way down, right? So Doomsday and what their purpose is in regards to these brain chips. Okay, so I'm going to go to the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. I'm going to read two precepts, right? 13, 9, and 10. All right. So this is I'm going to read it from the KJV. It says, "If any man have an ear, let him hear." Okay. So now when you go into this chapter, real quick, just a simple overview. It goes into exposing who this beast is that comes out of the sea. Okay. We know today, simply put, NATO and the EU. All right. So it says in the 10th verse. Take your time. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, verse 10, it says, Revelation 13:10, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." You see? So this is where this system that's on its final legs. We know this. Okay? Right? They have the Israelites starting with the prophets, the apostles of the Lord. Okay, and the rest of his elect in captivity. Right? So the Lord is saying here
Esau, Edom, right? The top. Oh, go ahead, Slaka.
No, take your time. No, go ahead.
Well, the top wicked elites of the Edomites and the other heathen nations, they're going to go into captivity, right? They put us into captivity. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you've been in captivity for centuries. Okay, over here in America and Canada. So guess what? Our enemies, they're going to be put into captivity. That's where they don't teach you in the churches. They don't teach you about captivity and how those that have put us into captivity are going to be put into captivity, man.
That's right. Simply put, all right. And it says here, "He that killeth with the sword," right? And this tool that we're going into, this device, it is likened unto a sword. Okay. It said, "He that killeth with the sword must."
It's going to backfire, right? Ultimately, see, the thing is, machines was never meant to merge with human beings.
That's right.
But Esau Edom being forward in his thoughts and prideful in his heart, he's going to go ahead and do it anyways. And ultimately, the Heavenly Father is putting the spirit on these devils to do so, right? But this prophecy tells you that, after these people receive their chips, guess what? They're going to receive a bunch of cancers, a bunch of sores, right? From merging machine with man. And a lot of people are going to die from that. So, yes, this RFID chip, all right, microchip, is likened to a sword, a killing instrument.
That's right. That's right. All right. Finishing off the verse, Revelation 13:10. "Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. So those there that is described as the elect. All right. They're going to go through whether this in spirit and in truth. The just shall live by his faith, by the faith of the Spirit of the Lord. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Simply put, and that word patience is very important in regards to their trials. As young elder was mentioning before we came on, simply put, I think you mentioned it before we came on. It's not going to be easy going through, because definitely, roughly paraphrasing your words, we're going to be living without a mediator.
Yeah.
Right. The mediatorial work is finished. That's what I mean.
We'll have a mediator, right? Yahushua is going to be with the elect, but the point is that you don't know if you're of the elect. At the end of the day, none of us can stand here and say we're of the elect, right? It's all done through faith, right? It's all done through faith. So ultimately, we have to see these lessons are going out as much as they're going out to warn you people, right? So you can get your mind right with for what's coming down the pipe, starting with us being at the forefront of teaching this ministries, right? Starting with the apostles and the bishops and elders on down, because Esau Edom is coming after those that call upon the name of Yahweh Yahushua. All these Israelite camps, Esau's coming from them too, but they're all easy work. Back in the day, FEMA had this color system to identify or classify people. So blue would be the people that are good to go for the NWO and the microchip. Those are the ones the sheeple. Okay, those are the sheeple. Then you had the yellow dot. If you had a yellow dot on your mailbox, that would be people who need more education, right? Into the New World Order, into the NWO, right? So those are your concentration camps. Those are people who are going to be sent out to concentration camps. Then the red dot was people who were just going to be put to death. Those are the people that Esau Edom knows that he's just going to have to kill, because they're not going to partake in his system. So where do you think we are in that classification? We're in the red, right?
Yep.
And a lot of Israelites in that time, when they're faced with that hour of temptation, a lot of Israelites are going to turn their back on Yahweh Yahushua. Right? So it's a very serious thing, man. These lessons go out to arm your mind for what's coming down the pipe.
That's right. Simply put, if I may, just one quick thing, because the word patience there, in regards to that gift that the Lord is going to give his elect through, I'm just going to jump to the meat of it. It says here, quality of being willing to bear adversities, calm endurance of misfortune, suffering, etc. That's it, right? So yes, the Lord's elect, the gift of patience, right, leading up to that trial time. Right, they're going to go through that. They're going to go through this. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, man.
That's right.
That's the point. It's not going to be easy.
That's right.
And we're not sitting up here like these other false teachers telling you that it's going to be 30 years from now. We're not giving you. See, the only word of comfort is His truth. It's the truth.
That's right.
Whether it's sour or sweet, the elect are going to be comforted.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so I'm going to play this clip here. This is from Nations Conspire. Okay, so let's go ahead and play it.
Everybody to today's show. The Wall Street Journal and other media outlets have just put out a report about how by the end of 2025, Apple is preparing to roll out their brain implant control of its devices. This is the brain-computer interface that I've been talking about for a long time, and I will continue talking about it until I'm no longer here, in hopes that I can help wake people up to what this technology is. This is a very important video. There might be things that are crossovers and other topics that I've discussed, but I highly recommend you watch until the end, and I will piece this together as simply as I can without confusing anybody out there. Even media outlets like Barstool, which is geared towards young males, young teenagers, 20 to 30-year-old males, is reporting on this. And everybody needs to understand what this is. So Apple is going to be rolling out their marketed via different corporations. Apple with their iPhone having their own brain-computer interface. Elon Musk with Neuralink. It's all the same technology. It's called brain-computer interface. You will be able to control your phones with your brains. The technology is going to enable iPhone users to control their devices using.
You know what's crazy is like guys like this guy, and even these Edomite Christians, they see the mark of the beast as a microchip. They can see it for what it is.
Mhm.
But for some reason, you got Israelites, right? Top Israelite teachers that can't see it, but Esau can see it. So you have to see that these teachers have been paid off, man. They've been paid off. They've been paid off to really beguile the masses of Israel. Okay, Shalom. Yahweh Shem
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Problem with this new phone.
Just a quick one to what you just say there, because it's prophetic. I know Hosea 4 and 6. Can you?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You see?
Yep.
Because thou has what? Rejected knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And of course, we know, brother, in spirit and in truth, there's a word called acknowledge. Right? And this is an action word as the Spirit bears witness. According to the testimonies, these, as brother said, these testimonies are straightforward. And we men up here, we're not just talking. But anyway, so it goes on to say, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. And it's very important, right? The false teachers amongst us, they talk law, but they don't go into, the statutory revelations are not revealed to them.
Yeah, the prophecies.
That's right. The prophecies. That's right.
The prophecies, right? It's all about the prophecies.
That's right.
You can quote scriptures, you can have the baddest breakdown, but if you don't understand the prophecies, you don't have the truth.
That's right.
Everything's dictated through prophecy. If you want to know who your enemy is, you want to know what time we're in, we want to know when Yahweh Shai is coming, or the signs of Yahweh Shai is coming, you need to have the understanding of prophecy.
Elder.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
There's a guy on the comment board. I don't know who it is or what it is.
Yeah.
Killers for Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Comment, I would love to delete the Purple Boys. I hate Bishop Nate, but I have to wait on the Lord, and he will repay in vengeance. So I went ahead and looked up who that is, and they have no videos. Pretty much their account was created April 16, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
They have 4 videos, and those videos are like shorts, like they took it from somebody else and placed it there. And, so this is probably a bot or
most likely that's an agent.
Yeah, someone's trying to incite some type of violence or look like we're a hate group or we're pushing violence,
Yeah.
So,
hey, man,
Yeah.
This devil, like we've been saying, man. We've been saying this. Being a Hebrew Israelite, it's not a joke, man. You people keep taking this thing for a joke. Esau Edom is getting ready to move in on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and especially us. But that's why we're doing what we got to do to make sure we're on the good side of Yahweh Shai. Because the only person that can protect you from Esau Edom is Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
So that demonization it's going to be on blast, man. It's going to be on blast. Now I'm gonna get this in NLT, Hosea 4 and 3. It says, "That is why your land is in mourning." No, let me just jump down to 4. Get right to it. It says, "Don't point your fingers at someone else and try to pass the blame." Right? My complaint, you priest, is with you. Right? Also representing leaders. Right? It says, "You will stumble in broad daylight." Okay, which is what they're doing right now. See, broad daylight is likened to when the truth is there. And right now, the truth is flourishing. But you have these leaders stumbling. Why? Because they don't have the gift of prophecy.
That's right.
Given by the Holy Spirit. And that's going to cause a lot of Israelites to die because they're going to take the microchip. Okay? Following these leaders. So it says, and your false prophets. Read that again. So you will stumble. You will stumble in broad daylight, and your false prophets will fall with you in the night, right? And that night is likened to what? Jacob's trouble. Okay? That night is likened to Jacob's trouble. So fusion, the evil, right, takes place, and that's where a lot of you Israelites, starting with your prophets, your false prophets, they're gonna fall. Okay, it says, and I will destroy Israel, your mother. Right, it's history and also prophetic. That's what end up happening.
That's right.
And it's destroyed till today. Okay,
beautiful.
It says, my people are being destroyed because they don't know me. Since you priests refuse to know me, I refuse to recognize you as my priest. Right.
That's right.
So the Lord's not dealing with them. They're not breaking down the scriptures correctly. So the Most High hasn't put the Spirit on them. All right. Well, that's how you know the Most High hasn't put the Spirit on them. Since you have forgotten the laws of your power, I will forget to bless your children. So they're gonna catch a lot of hell in Jacob's trouble, man. It says, the more priests they are, the more they sin against me.
That's right.
And it's funny because you notice these camps, what they like, what they focus on is it's numbers. Right? They want to have as much people. They want to be the most prominent and biggest camp, in Israel, making yourself an open target for Esau, Edom.
Wow.
You got guys walking around with their Hebrew Israelite names all over the place on their social media, on their license plate. You know what I mean? Jake's bugged out. You think this truth is a movement? It's not a movement, man.
That's right.
It's the truth. This is real life. Okay, so anyhow, it says they have exchanged the glory of Yahweh for the shame of idols. Yeah, you're calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite, but you call him Jesus Christ. And don't even get me started on these black Christians and these Edomite Christians. Well, the Edomite Christians, forget them, but these black Christians, right? You're gonna choose. You've chosen Esau, Edom, but you've chosen Christianity. And we'll see what Christianity will do for you in the day of Jacob's trouble, man. In the hour of temptation. Christianity is not going to save you from the hour of temptation.
Neural signals, which are captured by brain implants. And again, this is not technology that's developed by Apple or Tesla. This is military mind control applications being released through corporations. This is DARPA's creation. This is a creation of the deep state. And they tell you that you'll be able to control these devices with your brainwaves, but they're only a computer. I'll be able to think something's going to work the other way. And this is biblical. This is all part of sorcery and witchcraft. Elon Musk's Neuralink company, this is the same technology as what Apple is going to be doing at the end of 2025, has their brain chip, and they're calling it telepathy, which will enable telepathic communication. The chip is designed to intercept brain signals and retransmit them to other parts of the body or to devices like computers. So they're even saying that they're intercepting brain signals. What they're not telling you is that they could send signals to your brain. So Elon might mark for telepathy and telekinesis. Now, why is this important? Why is Apple doing this? Why are they more stores closing? We see a number of his name. So
for all the risers and shiners, the doing just finers, they keep fitters and track heavy hitters. The InstaJob.
If 80%.
And you know what? I want to get this reset. Or you know what? I'll wait. I'll let this play a little bit more.
How they've been talking about 6G wireless tech using human bodies for energy. Most people don't get what that means. Can electricity from the human body replace batteries? Scientists want to use people as antennas. This is often overlooked in the movie The Matrix, where most people believe that they're awake and they're red-pilled and they understand what's going on. Back when The Matrix came out, A lot of people didn't know where we were headed and what the symbolism in that film was, where he says turning you into this, right? Turning you into a battery.
The Matrix. Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
That's what this is right here. That's what you're seeing. And remember, in witchcraft, energy is the key element in witchcraft.
And you know what? America's already is already not real, man. This place is it's already la la land. So they're just taking it to the next step.
Witchcraft, Satanist rituals that they do, they harvest energy. And now you yourself are going to be turned into that battery because you are going to be operating on the Internet of Bodies. This technology is going to be inside of you. And they're telling you this with things like you and AI as one. Elon Musk, X as humanity's collective consciousness. Creating a neural lace is the thing that really matters for humanity to achieve symbiosis with machines. These are some clips, including ones I've shown you before.
So before you get those clips, I want to get Revelation 14. Because this is the prophecy for those who partake of this man's system. Okay. So Revelation chapter 14, verse, let's start at 9. And I got it here in the NLT. So it reads, Revelation 14 and 9. Then a third angel followed them, shouting, anyone who worships the beast and his statue is a statue, or who accepts his mark, which really the statue goes into the system. NLT has it off here, but the statue goes into his system. Or NWO. Anyone who worships the beast and his statue, or who accepts his mark on the forehead or on the hand, must drink the wine of Yahweh Bashim Shai's anger. It has been poured full strength into Yahweh Bashim Shai's cup of wrath.
Right.
And they will be tormented with fire and burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. Yeah, right. Because those who take the microchip, they're gonna get hit with nukes. See, because right after that, once we get to that time, like Apostle Har says, once we get to that time, everything's gonna be moving super quickly.
That's right.
Right? Because the Most High is speeding up the times, man. He's speeding up the times. So verse 11, it says, the smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever, which is a long time when you go into those words, a long period of time. And they will have no relief day or night, for they have worshipped the beast and his. Let me get this King James. I don't like that he keeps saying statue. Okay, so verse 11, Revelation 14:11, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night who worship the beast and his image, right? And whoso receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh, which Nate was saying that the MOTB, right? The microchip, the MOTB is sin, right? It's sin itself. It's not sin itself. It is a sin. So guess what? That also means commandment. It's a commandment not to take it. Okay? You guys want to preach the law? Well, guess what? You have to be preaching the microchip, because it's a sin to take the microchip.
That's right.
Not in itself. All right. Anyhow, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they which keep the commandments of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, or Yahweh, and the faith of Yahweh Shai. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim El Shai, from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And this is why Yahweh Shai told us to have a mindset of storing riches in heaven, not on earth, man. Because if you're storing your riches in heaven, guess what? Those riches are going to follow you, which means you're going to receive blessings for what you're doing, man, from Yahweh Shai in the kingdom and throughout Jacob's trouble, because we have many brothers who have already passed on. They're in the heavens right now, so they don't even have to taste of the MOTB. You see, but their works follow them, so they're going to be good in the kingdom of heaven. But for us who are still down here during this time of grace period, this is where everything matters, man. Because once the game begins and that grace period is done, there is no looking back. There is no beg. There is no I wish, or I'm sorry, or I regret. I shouldn't have done this. No, the time for that was in the grace period. Okay, so it says, verse 14, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, right, which is a chariot, so-called UFO, and upon the cloud, one sat like unto the Son of Man, Yahushai, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. Okay? And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. So that's judgment. Okay, that's judgment day. And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. Another came out of the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sickle, sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth. Okay, for her grapes are fully ripe. You see, this is why the scriptures tell us, though it tarry, wait for it. It shall surely come, because this is likened to farming, right? And the Lord, actually, I'm gonna let the scripture explain it even better than me. We'll jump from here, because Esdras, he had this conversation with the Most High about, the time that we're in now. So this is Second Esdras chapter 5. Yeah, let's start at 6. No, it's 5, chapter 5.
Either person.
Okay. So, Second Esdras chapter 5. Well, here, I'll start from 1. I got it in GNT. It says, but these are the signs. The time will come when all people on earth will be in grip of great confusion. The way of truth will be hidden, right? And no faith will be left in the land. Wickedness will increase until it has become worse than you have ever known it to be. Right? And this is that same time we're reading about in Revelation, the 14th chapter, right? And it's gonna grow and grow and grow until we get to World War III.
That's right.
Okay? Which is the war to end all wars, really. Let me just go back here to Revelation 14, then I'll get Second Esdras chapter 5. Because that whole chapter is good, but we're going to jump around in it. It says, and the angel thrust, Revelation 14 and 19, and the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into a great winepress of the wrath of Yahweh. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even onto the horses' bridles. That's a lot of blood. And I'm pretty sure that's right up to here, right? Right up the horse's face, the bridle. If you look up where the bridles are, I'm pretty sure those are the things that cover the horse's face or eyes. So it said, yeah.
It's the thing that they use to direct the horses, pretty much.
Yeah, right. So it says, by the space of 1,600 furlongs, man. Okay, so now gonna skip down here. I want to get a specific point. There are signs of lamp, and then I am permitted, but if you pray. Okay, so bear with me. Okay. He is upset. You cannot understand what he. Okay. So we are going to start at 40. No, 43. Okay, let's start at 43. So it says, I replied, but couldn't you have created all human beings? Oh, you know what? Okay, I start at 40. Salak. So it says, he continued, you could not do even one of the things that I asked you to do. How can you expect to understand Yahweh's judgment, or why Yahweh has promised his love to his people? Then I said, but Lord Yahweh, your power, Lord Yahweh power, your concern is with the people who will be alive at the end of the world. What will happen to those who lived before that time? What about us? What about those who came before us and those who will live after us? So he was in the spirit of hastening the day, man. He's like, why can we get the kingdom now?
Yeah.
You know, what about us?
Yeah.
Verse 40. Yeah. It says, he answered me, the final judgment can, and this is the point I was going to get. So it says, the final judgment can be compared to a circle. And just as a circle has no beginning or end, so those who come early will not be too early, and those who come late will not be too late. So everything is set in its time, right? But guess what? There's a sign of the times as well. So the Most High has put everything in its order, but he's given his prophets, he's given his elect, starting with the prophets, the secrets to identify the times, just to know where we are in this movie. Okay.
Wouldn't that go back in this precept that you just read? Go back into reincarnation.
Yep.
You're pretty much because you're going through a cycle.
That's right. Exactly. Hence the circle of life.
Yep.
It says, verse 43. I replied, but couldn't you have made all human beings those of the past, the present, and the future, so that they would all live at the same time? In that way, you could have had your final judgment sooner. So he was really hastening the days. How much more now that we're actually close? We're in that time.
Yeah. So right here, right here, where it says in 43, when it says that they could have had their judgment sooner, meaning if they were living in that same lifetime that we're living, they would have got their judgment in that lifetime. But because they had to pass and come back again to face judgment, right? Is that's correct? So they will come back to face judgment. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I saying the right thing.
Because basically what I just said, right? It says, I replied, but couldn't you have created all human beings, those of the past, the present, and the future, so that they would all live at the same time?
Yeah.
Right? He just wanted everything to happen at once because he wants to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
In that way, you could have done your final judgment sooner, right?
Yep.
But everything has to play out in its time. And that's why you need the understanding of prophecy, because if you don't, you're going to bug out. Because it's not like things are getting easier. They're getting harder. They're getting more wicked. Times are getting more evil. You know, the brother out there in LA, right? He had a powerful testimony. He got stabbed 3 times, almost lost his life on his job, right? And you know what? Like, most likely that guy was the insider being sent. So Esau Edom is watching. So if you don't understand what time you're in, and times are getting this evil, you're gonna bug out, and you're not of the elect. Simple and plain.
Okay. Yeah, you always
Okay.
mention past, present, and future in regards to prophecy, history. So yes.
Yeah.
Very
So it
important.
says he answered.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it says he answered, the creation cannot move faster than the creator. And besides, the world wouldn't have been able to hold all the people if everyone had been created at the same time. Why then, I asked, did you just now tell me that one day you will bring back to life at the same time every creature that ever lived? Reincarnation. If the world can hold them all then, it can hold them all now.
Because he wants to judge it to be happen now. He wants everything to happen right away.
Yep.
But it can't,
Yeah. Finishing up, it says, he answered, that would be like asking a woman who has given birth to 10 children, why didn't she have them all at once instead of one time at one at a time? That would be impossible, I answered. She can't have them all at once. In the same way, he continued, I have made the world like a womb so that it produces human beings at regular intervals, the circle of life.
Yeah.
Understand?
The Great Matrix.
The rule. Yeah, that's basically it. The main point I want to get is that it's the fact that you need prophecy to understand the times, right?
That's right.
As Ezra, he doesn't understand the times, right? So he's getting understanding through prophecy. Hence why when you get into Second Ezra 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, it's all prophecy. Even what we're reading right now is prophecy. Ezra's 5 as he gets into it.
Past, present, and future.
Okay, so let's get.
I got a scripture after if you want.
I'm just get this real quick, and then you got it. Psalms 21:11, and it reads. Let's see, what's 10 say? Okay, I'll just get to the point. So Psalms 21:11, it reads, for they intended evil against thee. They imagine a mischievous device, right? The microchip. And the evil that they intend is, remember, that evil that these Edomites intend is specifically towards you, Jakes, right? And the spirit of Yahweh Shai is going to be in Esau, Edom, because that judgment is Jacob's trouble. So do you really want to deal with Esau, Edom with the spirit of the Lord on him? And he's already a demon.
See?
Right? Because the Most High uses Esau as his left hand. Okay? Assyria, right? Assyria, what's the word?
The rod of
my rod. The rod of my anger.
Yeah.
The modern day Assyrian is these Edomites. Okay? So again, it says, for they intended evil against thee, they imagine a mischievous device. That's why they got the CFR, the UN, right? And all these different think tanks, because they're counseling against the Israelites, starting with us. It says, which they are not able to perform. So they're not going to be able to perform fully, all right, to the extent that they want to, the NWO. The Most High, just like we'll probably get it out later. You can read about it in Job 20. Just when this devil is getting ready to fill his belly, the Most High is going to put him in dire straits, man. That's it on that.
Beautiful. Yeah, man. That right there at the end, which they are not able to perform, man. Hey, your rulership is basically finished.
Yep.
Simply put, Lord's telling you through his prophets, man, your rulership, when this time comes, is finished. You are not going to be able to live it out for 400 years or whatever you want to think.
Let me read verse 12 real quick, actually.
Take your time.
It says, therefore shalt thou make them turn back. And where they're going to be turning back into.
Turn their back.
Exactly. Turn their back. Turn their back. Therefore thou shalt make them turn their back, right? And where are they going to turn their back to? They're going to be running into those bunkers, man. Right? Because it says, when thou shalt make ready thine arrows upon thy strings against the face of them.
That's right.
So they know, because ultimately this is their plan. Their plan is to bring about World War III. the top
That's
wicked
right.
elites. You see,
And-
and then
and to-
that's why they're spending $21 trillion on bunkers all over the world.
That's right.
That's it on that.
and to enslave you, and to enslave Israel. Keep it.
Well, they want
Keep
to get
everybody,
rid
the
of.
whole world. Yeah, get
Well,
rid
they
of them.
want to. Yeah, they don't
That's
want to
right.
enslave. They don't want to just. They don't want to enslave Israel though. They want to get rid of them.
Rid of them. Yep. That's in Psalms 83.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring a scripture on. I was gonna bring up Psalms 37 verse 7. It says, "Rest in the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, and wait patiently for Him, and fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked
Slacker, where you at,
devices
brother?
to pass."
Psalms 37 and 7.
Yeah, Psalms 37 verse 7.
Water.
Continue. It says, I'll start again from the top. It says, "Rest in the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." Esau, Edom, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those that
Right,
wait
and
upon the Lord,
Slacker,
Yahweh.
Hold on a second. Verse 8, it says what? Cease from anger and forsake wrath, right? Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, right? Because what happens is, just like it says in Sirach 2, right? When you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation, right? And not to make haste when you're in a time of trouble. So all these different Israelites, and even this guy, Nations Conspire, and all these doomsday preppers, they're gonna fret themselves in the day of the Lord.
That's right.
And they're gonna take the microchip. And Esau Edom knows this. You see, he knows this. That's why he doesn't care about all the yapping that they're doing. He's really worried about us because we're bringing out the 100% truth.
That's right.
Okay, and you got even Jake that are arming themselves to fight against Esau Edom. Like they can do something about it. You can't fight against this man in his curse or in his blessing.
No way. It says, verse 9, "For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be."
Utter destruction, man.
Can you, when you go back into what you just read, Psalms 37 and verse 7, it says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way." And we might think Esau Edom is actually prospering, which he is prospering in his ways. He thinks that his MOTB is going to come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Everything that their plan, their enterprise, pretty much, that's their way. Their enterprise is their way because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. This topic is speaking about the nanotechnology that they're planning to put in people's brain. Apple is bringing that out, right? That is a part of their enterprise. That is what you call evil in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right?
Yeah, man.
And now it's telling us, cease from anger. So don't go out there like you see these other Israelites do, running up and down hill, punching a bag, spraying mace in your faces like you're going to do something. You can't do anything when the Most High sets these people on you to do whatever he wants to do. You can't, right?
Sure.
And then when you go into cease from anger and forsake wrath, so don't worry, don't think you're going to go out there and fight against these people. And it says,
physically,
set not thyself in any way, any wise to do evil. So vengeance is mine, Yahweh says, right? So don't worry about what they're doing. Don't go out there and think you're going to attack these people. You're going to, you know what I'm saying? No, that's the job for Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Your job is to stay in these precepts, fret not yourself, have patience, and keep praying to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
That's right.
Deal with your demons too, man. Don't just sit around talking about, yo, I'm good because I know I'm an Israelite. No, deal with your demons, man. Deal with your wickedness. Because we're all wicked.
That's right. The Lord requires that.
I have a precept. Amos 5:18, if I may.
Benjamin, are you done?
I wasn't done, but I can read a couple more verse, like 2 more verse.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then it says, verse 12, it says, the wicked plotted against the just and garnishes teeth. Gnashes upon him with his teeth. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay the such as be upright conversation.
Yeah, and they think that because they think that because they have all this power, they have all this might, that they are actually going to win this battle. That's what they're thinking is, in a carnal sense, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But when you look at spiritually, what the Most High is preparing for them, these arrows, these weapons that they have created, the Most High made them create that for what? For their own destruction. You know what I said?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So with that, I'll just end it right there because I think I skipped verse 11. It said, "But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight in themselves in the abundance of peace." All right. That was verse 11.
Yeah, when you go into verse 15, it says, "Their sword shall enter into their own heart," meaning their weapons that they have created.
Yeah.
All their AI technology, the robots, the dogs, drones. That's also a sword, right? And this devil is going to, as he's orchestrating right now, he's orchestrating race wars between you Jakes and Esau Edom, right? And with race war, you get civil war and all these kind of different wars, which is going to lead to what? Anarchy, right? Or civil unrest, I should say. This is where this man can bring in all his weapons, right? In the form of so-called protection. Or the guise, so to speak, under the guise.
I got Amos 5:18.
Go ahead.
Amos 5:18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord, Yahweh, is darkness and not light." Right? So you have these people like, what I'm saying, thinking that the day of the Lord is going to be like just smiles and yays, and no, it's going to be woes and more woes, right? Because Esau is going to launch his devices, which is going to be his destruction. But during that time, some of you Jakes, a lot of you Jakes, are going to be seeing this, and you're going to be crying, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And this also goes into, because of course you Christians, you Black Christians, and even you Edomite Christians, you think, like the brother was saying, the day of the Lord is going to be some kind of rapture where like what Hollywood has showed you, but also all you people, all you preppers, man, all you preppers, I think you can prep for the day of the Lord.
Doomsday.
You don't know that who you're dealing with. You think that you're dealing with man. You think you're dealing with the government. You think you're dealing with Trump, right? You think you're dealing with Elon or whatever technocrat. You're not dealing with them. You're dealing with the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahushua. And the only way you can prep for that, or the only way you can escape that judgment, you can't prep for it. Is either you're set up for the judgment or you're not. That's simple as that. The only way you're not set up for that judgment is if you're of the elect. That's it. So woe to you that desire the day of the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? And it says, what end is it for you? Yeah, because in that day, it says that men are going to be looking for death and are not going to be able to find it.
Exactly.
Oh, and it's also going to be a day where the Lord said that same shall know death by pain.
It's going to be evil times, man. Bad times. Evil times is coming.
Slacker, was that on that
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll play a little bit more of this clip here.
Where you can just see what the future looks like with the phone inside of the body, including recently on Black Mirror, them showing you what this looks like, how you are now going to have symbiosis with machines. This is the mixing of iron and clay. This is a creation of DARPA. It's not a creation of Apple. It's not a creation of Tesla. Those people are pretending to be corporations selling you a product. Because if the government showed up at your door and told you to put this technology in your body, 0% of the population would do it. They've eased you along, getting you comfortable with technology, making you want more technology, making life easier by telling you, well, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, get this tech, you can do things this way, everything's simpler, right? That's one of the key concepts in how they've marketed technology. Make it easier. Why do you need cash? Why do you need a wallet anymore? Do everything on your phone, but at the same time telling you that your phone is going to be obsolete.
This is the fastest proven way to actually remove under eye bags with no Botox and no surgery.
Absorbing their thoughts on your own? Yes, we've been working together. How? They wanted to coexist with humans. You need to study our minds, not just psychologically, but physically, to work out a means of coexistence. Improvement for both of us. Over time, working in unison, we designed a neurological interface that would allow them to connect to me directly.
I'm pretty sure this is an episode on Black Mirror. So they're putting right in front of your face, man.
Home surgery. Not pleasant, but not as painful as I thought. Plug and play. The mind is a computer. They throw out a code. I just hooked myself up and they ported themselves across as proof of concept. You didn't overwrite anything on the way in. They just merged with me like a benign parasite. Symbiotic coexistence. Say, what is that? It's code. I don't understand code. No, but the system does. Possible to breach the firewall from outside. This is a simple program they wrote and your state computer to open that door for the front, letting access to all that juicy power. Approaching an immediate singularity of it will instantly adapt their essence into a signal transmissible to the human mind. You won't need drugs or surgery. You'll merely have to hear it to receive it, to absorb it. In a moment now, we'll trigger the global emergency broadcast system, then the signal will be simultaneously disseminated by every connected device in the world.
He sounds a madman.
Here we go. This is transformative.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced collective intelligence.
So he's like, he's putting it out there. Like this is one of the episodes of Black Mirror. So this is predictive programming. It goes right over people's heads, but this is it shows you how blessed we are to be able to spot out, this witchcraft. Spot out his witchcraft.
Invention, his evil invention he's bringing.
Yeah.
A part of his enterprise.
For all of us.
That's right.
You see what they do?
2 Corinthians, hold on a second. 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? Let me go to it real quick. I'm gonna put if I try to.
They always put out something to warn the people before they do it.
I can bring it for you, Elder.
So this is. I'm here. Thwada.
Okay.
Thwada. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, and that comes by the way of the Holy Spirit, right? That word devices goes into his desire, right? What he wants to do. So we're constantly on this guy, and every move he makes, we're connecting it to his desire, right? What he ultimately wants to do, like that deal that Trump did with Saudi Arabia, the $600 billion. I forgot how much, but I think 500 million or 50 million, 500 million is allocated to AI infrastructure and energy bases. What do you think that's for? That's for those smart cities and to help them build up that little city, wall city that they have in Saudi Arabia, Neom. That little thin, it's like a little thin wall, right? That's going to be a smart city. So everything he's doing, all right, is linked to the microchip, and the hopeful elect are not going to be ignorant of that. That's why they're not going to take it.
That's right.
Oh, were you going to bring something out, Barneman?
No, I was just saying, like Esau, he always puts these what he's gonna do onto the people out there before he does it. Like he's always throwing it in your face, and then he brings it out and manifests it to the people to do it. To put it on. That's also, this is something that he's trying to bring out, man. All these things he's doing.
Yeah, well, he's going to bring it out, right?
Yeah.
Prophecy says he's going to do it, and like you said, you know, his technology is his. That's his prophets on the left hand side, right? Telling you what he's going to do before he does it. That's what the prophets do. And so, so this is
on
his,
the left hand side.
his counterfeit way of prophesying. Is through his technology.
Yeah, on the left hand side.
It's called revelation of the method.
Yep. Yeah, as well. Yep. Revelation. Yeah, exactly. Revelation of the method. They literally reveal their methods to you, but they do it in the form of entertainment. So it goes right over your head.
It's deep.
So true.
Yeah.
My hearing is okay.
One test when you all think we're going to move from this form factor to something that's on your face, glasses, and computing's all on the edge.
All right, 50 seconds. Who wants to answer quickly? I think it will go. It will. First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
The U.S. government's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency to develop what they call next-generation non-surgical neurotechnologies designed to allow the human brain to directly interface with machines.
Know that DARPA is exploring human-machine interfaces that include direct connections between the brain and outside systems.
We could have a sensor maybe on the surface of our head, or maybe implanted somewhere in our body.
You know, it's crazy because I'm just thinking like these devils can be so blunt with you about what they're doing because, again, the entertainment aspect. Like people will see this, or you'll tell them this is what's coming down the pipe, and they'll say, that sounds like a sci-fi movie. Yeah. That sci-fi movie was a revelation of the method, I'm telling you right now. But again, that's right. That witchcraft, you know?
That's right.
And ultimately, the Most High did it, really. Let's give the credit where credit is due. It's ultimately the Most High. I'm going to get to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. We always bring this out. Let me start at 7. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let. Right? That's the Most High. The mystery of iniquity is Esau Edom, as he's being exposed, right? To be the devil that the Bible speaks of, or rather the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. It says, until he be taken out of the way, right? And he's about to be taken out of the way.
That's right.
He's about to be taken out of the way. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, right? I.e. the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's right. The hosts of heaven.
That's what we're waiting on now.
That's right. That's right. Verse 9, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Yeah, so it would be a man. It would be a group of people on earth that would come after the workings of Satan, okay, with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's his technology. That's Esau Edom's technology, okay. And in particular, the microchip. It says, and will, because he's talking about telekinesis, moving things with your mind, right?
AI generated.
That's right. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. So the Most High set this devil up to basically deceive everybody who's not the elect. Straight.
That's right.
Okay? Because this is the Most High's movie. This is what you wacky tacky Christians, black Christians don't understand. Okay, we're all in a movie, and everybody has a role to play within the script. So it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, shall send them strong delusion.
That's right.
Right? That they should believe a lie. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And best believe people are going to have pleasure in this unrighteousness, which is a microchip. And they'll have socket. They'll have pleasure for a little time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then putrefying sores, all right, will start popping up.
Mm-hmm.
People will start catching cancer, dropping dead. It's all gonna backfire because these guys were never about helping you or protecting you. They were always about enslaving you, using you, making as much as they can off of you, and then discarding you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reverse 13. It says, but we are bound to give thanks always to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit.
That's right.
And belief in the truth. Verse 14, whereunto he called you by our gospel, right? Which is the doctrine, Yahushai's doctrine, to be up to the obtaining of glory of our Lord Yahushai HaMashiach. That's right.
That's right. Beautiful. Straight. The elect.
Our brain or something that allows us to interact directly with our communications gear, our processing gear, our weapon systems, and so on. You put the sensor on and you think the right way, and you can increase the speed of the fan by thinking and controlling that thought with direct-to-mind or mind-machine interface.
But there are those who believe.
See, that sounds crazy to people.
Crazy.
That sounds cool, right? Real quick.
Sorry.
These are miracles, man. But these are miracles, or I should say, they're counterfeit miracles.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 13 and
14. Well, you can start there. I don't know if that's what you want.
Yeah, 14 is good actually. You know what?
Or,
yeah, I'll start at 12. So it says Revelation 13 and 12, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, right? And causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, right? Which is the Roman Empire. Okay. And we've done countless of videos at GMS over how you can link America to the Roman Empire.
That's right.
The infrastructure, the language, the education, even the entertainment, the food, all of it is a satellite of Rome. America is a satellite of Rome. Look up the word satellite.
Mm-hmm. And evolution of the beast. Yep. Like you always said.
Evolution too. Yeah. It says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And this is how you know it's talking about Rome.
That's right.
1500s to be exact. That's when the peak of the Renaissance was. It says, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And we always use the bombing for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's an example, and it's true. But we're in the 21st century. This guy's he's using DO weapons, right?
That's right.
Right? Stands for direct energy weapon, man. So that's a laser beam. So that's also a form of causing fire to come down from the sky in the sight of men.
That's right.
Look what he did to California, and look what they did to Hawaii. Was it Hawaii, or where was it?
Yep. Yeah,
it was
Hawaii, right?
Years back. It was Hawaii.
Yeah, it was Hawaii. Yeah, it was Hawaii. Right, one of the first 50-minute cities. So verse 14 it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, telekinesis, moving things with your mind, being able to walk, see, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, right?
That's right.
NATO and the EU. So the whole world, basically, these top leaders. Which also shows you that they're all going to be in cahoots with each other to bring about the microchip. So it doesn't matter where you move or where you fly. I'm going to be out here in Uganda. I'm going to be out here at this place.
It's
and I'm aligned with America. They're all aligned with each other. All right. The guys of this guy's fighting with this guy and that guy's fighting with that guy. It's not real. The majority of it is fake. There is going to be infighting, but the majority of it is fake. Okay. So it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, right, which had the deadly wound by a sword and did live. Yeah. So they're going to bring back that empire through technology, a technological Babylon, a technological Rome,
beautiful
technological Egypt.
Straight. And it says, the scripture says the kings of the earth have committed fornication. So yes, they've all bought into it.
Yep. That's right.
Technology.
Yes, right. I might as well read 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? And you got Trump working with I forgot what prime minister over there in El Salvador, right? Working together to basically to build up camps, right? Detention camps, and to deport a lot of American citizens. He got rid of what's it called? The
habeas corpus.
Habeas corpus. Yeah, it's a tongue twister for me, right? Trump's is looking to get rid of that, and if he gets rid of that, he can get rid of any so-called American citizen and deport you. You see, to these camps. So that image is that new world order, the NWO.
There
and
you
if you don't partake in this new system, guess what? You're gonna be shipped off or killed off. That's how ruthless this devil is gonna be. Well, you're gonna be shipped off and killed off. That's his plan. Verse 16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and it can be anywhere in your body. Don't let that trip you up. Okay, as long as it's in your body, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had that mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
That's right. Straight.
Okay, so we'll finish up a little bit more of this.
That this, I think, controlling that thought with direct-to-mind or mind-machine interfacing.
But there are those who believe that this same technology could also be used by DARPA as a new form of mind control. Like their counterparts at the CIA, DARPA-funded researchers have spent decades investigating how the human mind can be altered. Project Pandora, which studied the possibility of using microwave radiation to control human behavior. But DARPA's investigation of how machines can affect and possibly control the brain continues to this day.
There are explicit programs of DARPA to read and write to human brains.
We can send instructions and information.
You get the point, man. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can go watch the rest of the video for yourself. It's a good video. No, this is actually not Nations Conspire. This is Ones That Can See. I think this is his other channel. But yeah, go watch it. It's a good video. If you have eyes to see, right, having the Holy Spirit, you can see this devil is he's making moves, man. He's making moves. That's it for me. I don't know, brothers, got any
I got a script
or statements you want to make?
I got a scripture. This is Ephesians 6:11. It says, put on the whole armor of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Therefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, that he may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet should with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
Yeah, and those fiery darts are, his ways, right? His wiles, all the trickery, physically and spiritual. Because remember, the spiritual demon Satan is working on the elect too.
That's
trying to get in your mind, that make you to overthink things, right? To be lazy. All these things are fiery darts, man. So you got to arm yourself with the scriptures. When Yahushua was being tempted, all right, what did he use to fight against Satan? He used the scriptures, use precepts in the scriptures, right? So if you're faking it, you're not really taking this truth seriously, you're only setting yourself up for destruction. That's all you're doing.
It says, and take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Yeah. So you got to constantly be watching, right? Especially us. We're constantly watching because we're at the forefront. And we're hastening the day, man.
I'll finish it up. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel.
Yeah, that's right.
For which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Just going into Paul.
I got one.
Go on. You got one?
Yeah. Psalms 64 and verse 5. I'm going to stop at verse 8. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Let me get that word commune real quick in the dictionary. And that word commune means a group of people living together and sharing possessions and responsibility. So pretty much they share responsibility of the snares that they set privately. And then they say, who shall see them?
Yeah, so they work together.
Yeah.
They work together. And that goes back into what we spoke about, revelation of the method, because they lay these snares directly in front of these people, but they can't see it because, like you said, Elder, they don't have eyes to see or ears to hear, right?
Yeah.
And then when I continue, it says, verse 6, it says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep, right? Verse 7, this is it. But Yahweh.
Yeah, because you know what? This plan has been going on really for like 3 centuries. 250 years. So the heart, you got to think they've been plotting this through their sons and teaching their sons all the way up until now. And then they even have it they have it planned out up until when Yahushua comes, and even after that, what they think they're going to do.
That's right. Wow.
Verse 7 now it says, but Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. And some of these arrows that are being shot at these people is the prophets on the highways and the byways speaking the truth, right?
Yeah, it's the first ones. Yeah.
When you go into the last one now, it says, so they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
Yeah, that's right.
So these truthers is a prime example of their own tongues being falling upon themselves. And as you can see, there's a huge separation because the Magna group, most of them are Edomites, and they're fleeing away from the demon Trump. They're fleeing away from the MAGA. They're fleeing away from You know what I'm saying? Like, because they can basically see a part of what's coming, so they're trying to separate themselves from the demon. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Con, there was another point you just made. It had me think of something, but
I can read it over.
Yeah,
It
it's
says,
lucky.
So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves, which is the truthers. I mentioned the truthers. He said, all that see them shall flee away. Talking about the Magna people separating themselves from Magna.
Yeah, you had there's an article that I read a couple days ago about a bunch of Americans and Canadians are both looking for other places to live, looking to leave America. You know, I think it was those of you at home. You can look it up for yourself, but there's also a lot of Canadians looking to live into America. You know, so you got both sides happening. You got a lot of people. They just brought all these refugees in, these South African refugees. But these Edomite refugees, they think they're coming to have a prosperous life in America. But you just been brought here to ultimately, eat those missiles.
Bamboozled.
Exactly, you've been bamboozled, right? Thinking that you're going to be doing good here, but you've been brought here just because these Edomites are feeling small. I've made you small among the heathens, right? Women aren't having children. The Edomite woman isn't bringing forth kids anymore. Right, so now Trump's trying to pay Edomite women to have more kids. So this devil, as he's on his way out, man, he's slipping and sliding, falling, slurring out his mouth, can't walk straight. You know, and his tongue is outing him. His own tongue is outing him. So he's through. He's completely through.
Beautiful. Oh.
Any other precepts?
If I may, real quick, because I've never read it from the NLT until now. Right, and these precepts that just came out, we had the precept before this one in regards to the instruction and how we're going to be led in spirit and truth through this thing. So real quick, Jeremiah 50, 23 and 24, if I may, because you just said it as well. He's falling in his trap, right? This is from the NLT, if I may. It says, Babylon, the mightiest hammer, okay, in all the earth lies broken and shattered. Babylon is desolate among the nations. Hey, we're watching this thing spiraling around. And then it says, here's the point. Verse 24, it says, listen, Babylon, for I have set a trap for you. You are caught. For you have fought against Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. That's who you've been fighting against.
That's right.
Let's stop right there. But yeah, that's from the NLT, Jeremiah 50, 23 and 24.
Beautiful.
So it's finished. That's it.
All right. So with that, we're going to close up. We're going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash. All right. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and the bishops of Great Millstone rule well. And that ties his word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. All right. Starting with the 144,000 and the rest of the 1/3 that sincerely believe. All right. Abba Ball, Kamashallah, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the hopeful elect.